give you very much raw. And by the thumbnail, you guys can already tell we're gonna do some glitter, some blending colors, some liners. We're gonna do everything. And we have our beautiful model here. And I just can't wait to kill this look. And I hope you guys love it. So as you guys know, the first step we go in with is wiping your client's skin down. You have to go in with some witch hazel, any type of pads that will cleanse their face. My favorite is Noxzema pads. I love it the most because it avoids any breakouts to the client's skin. Now it's time to prep her brows. Off camera, I cleaned up her brows and then I began to go in with some dual lash glue. I use dual lash glue as a trick to help my client's brows stay on longer and also to help lay down those brow hairs just so it can be more easier for me to fill in the brows. And now I'll be also going in with a pencil, which is also one of my favorites other than the Revlon Stylist Brow Definer. But I'm going in with my NYX pencil in the shade Espresso. To conceal the brows, I'll be going in with Born This Way concealer in the shade Cookie. And also for the top of her brows, I'll be going in with her foundation shade from NARS Longwear in the shade Macao. Shout out to the Raw Babes who've been in this family for a while. If you are new to the Raw Babes family, thank you and we welcome you over. But I also want to give you guys tips on brows. If you are struggling with brows, it takes a while to get it intact when it comes to different brow arches and brow shapes. But what can help you with concealing brows, make sure you stay very close to the eyebrow hairs to shape out their original brow. Sometimes what helps me is at least standing back in front of my client and noticing what is even, what's not even, what is too big, what is too small. And that's how you can go out with having the perfect brows. After I blend out that concealer on her lid, then I'll begin to set that concealer just to avoid any creasing when it comes to the eyeshadows. And I went with the Air Sponge Translucent Powder. For her eyeshadow today, we'll be going in with a new Precision palette. If you guys want the link, I'll make sure I put it down in the description below. But this palette is very pigmented. I used those two browns just to blend out as the first shade in her crease. Now, ladies, if you already know, I love the Juvia's Place palettes, the Warrior palette, and the one that has a light brown, dark brown, and black. If you guys have that palette, I will prefer that palette. In this look of me blending out everything, I wasn't too happy with the black. Usually her blacks are very pigmented, but I don't know if it was how I was blending, but it was becoming very patchy. And as you guys can see along the way, I helped it out. But just take your time, try to blend in place. So the first shade will be your lighter brown shade, and then the second shade will be like a darker brown, just to go into the gradient look of those different colors. If you guys do not see the difference of the colors on the lids, you have not blended right. You blended all of it together. You have to see the different layers of colors. Just imagine a sunset. And then I began to pop a matte in the corner of her eyes. If you guys have any type of shimmer, you also can do that as well. But the matte icy look, I knew it was gonna come out very, very raw. I noticed that I was not feeling the patchiness of my black. So I went with the P. Louise base. This is a black base. And if you guys want to order it, I'll make sure I put the link down in the description box below. And I just got a fluffy brush and I just patted that pigment. Now it's time to get ready for your glitters. And I went with the dual lash glue and I began to blend that dual lash glue onto that black base. If you guys need links to the glitters, I'll make sure I put them down in the description box below. But the first glitter you go in should be like a pressed glitter, and then along the way you will add on a little bit more of the dual lash glue, and then you'll begin to start adding your chunky glitter. Now I went in with my liner from NYX. It's called the Epic Wear Waterproof White Liner, and I love it so much. A lot of you guys asked, does it crack? The old NYX white liner most definitely did crack a lot, but this one doesn't give me any problems. If you guys want to use the white liner method with this eye look, make sure you leave a spot open close to the eye line, just so it can be easy for you to glide that liner on. Off camera, I applied her lashes, and I went with the Master Prime by Face Studio by Maybelline, and I applied her primer to her skin, and then I went with the Long Wear NARS foundation in the shade Macao. For her contour and blush, I went in with the e.l.f. blush, and I also went in with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. The e.l.f. blush is just so many ways I can explain it. It's very pigmented, it's creamy, I love it so much. And I also went with the Rich Ebony shade from the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I tell you guys all the time, it doesn't matter what you use when it comes to the contour. It could be a darker foundation, it could be a darker concealer, it can even be your contour stick. Just as long as at least 2 shades darker than the original skin tone. Lately, I have been switching up my technique, ladies. I'm the type, I just can't stick to one thing at one time. I feel like it gets old. So I done switched over my whole technique. I hope you guys notice it. But knowing that I added another opponent to the glam, which is the cream blush, I have maneuvered my way of how I line up my base with the concealers. But if you guys going with the concealer, make sure you're going with at least 2 shades lighter than the original skin tone. And just to add a little bit more pop to the concealer, you'll go back in with a real light concealer shade just to bring that under eye to be more brightened. The concealer we used today, which is at least 2 shades lighter than her original skin tone, we went with the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Cookie, the same shade we used for her eyebrows. And now I know you're like, oh, Lashay, you blending out concealer with a brush? Y'all, I'm still gonna go back to my beauty blender. You guys gonna see it. But yes, I love using the brush for now. I love it, even though it takes a little bit more time. But I just love the concept and how it makes it look. It's very full coverage. So if you guys are not getting a full coverage underneath the eye, the problem is you have to allow your concealer to dry down a little bit just to build that full coverage. When you are blending out your concealer, make sure you grab a damp beauty blender. The beauty blender I recommend is Real Technique. And also it's another beauty blender along the way that I will show you when it's time to bake my client. I will put it down in the description box below on where you can get it from. If you guys do not want to use NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer because it is a little bit pricey, you guys can go in with a lot of different full coverage lighter toppers that can be very good to brighten up the under eye. I recommend e.l.f. Concealer, Type Shade Concealer, and also I recommend L'Oreal Infallible Wear Concealer. To set the remaining of her face and also to structure out her cheekbones and features, I went with the Huda Beauty setting powder. This is the name, child. Between Huda Beauty and NARS, I don't know what names they come up with, but y'all need to make it more clear for the ones who are presenting these products on YouTube, because it's a little bit hard. And I say that on my live all the time. It's a little bit hard to say the name. But I also went with Laura Mercier and I set that underneath her eye, and that was the translucent. And then I went in with one of my favorite palettes you guys always ask about. This is the Morphe 8D contour palette. This is the bronzer palette, and I love it so much. If you're having problems with popping up your contour, all you have to do is tell your client to smile, or tell your, or yourself, just smile, and you can see the apple of your cheeks where you will be placing that contour or your blush. And now I'll be going in with my Ruby Kisses liner. This is in the shade dark brown, and I've been over loving it. I still love my Morphe Trendsetter liner, but it's a little bit far, and something that is close by, I go to the hair store, as other people say, the beauty supply store, and that's when I'll just grab this liner. So I had a client, this is a little story time. I had a client, and she's from Chicago. Shout out to Chicago. And she was so sweet. And on live, if you guys ever watched the live, I want you guys to comment below if you remember. And we were talking about so many different subjects and having so much fun. If you guys want to follow my IG or my TikTok where I go live at LashaysGlamz, make sure you follow, because I go live with full tutorials. And you will even get to know me a little better. And she was like, I don't really know the lingo of Miami. You guys sound like city girls. You guys have a little accent. And I'm like, how? And so many lingos she didn't know nothing about from Miami. And it was so funny. It's like a Floridian thing. And I said, the hair store. She was like, y'all call it the hair store? We call it the beauty supply store. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so crazy. That's why in the comments, y'all be laughing when I say the hair store, which is so funny. But I went in with the Virgin shade, and it's a matte pink nude, and that's from Morphe also. And I went with the hair store gloss. We love our hair store gloss. It's only $2. Do not go get that expensive gloss. This is a perfect lip combo. And also in the center of her lips, to make it a little bit lighter on the nudist pink, I went in with a little lighter shade of concealer. You guys can use NARS, or you guys can use the L'Oreal Infallible Wear, but you will go in with more of a fair skin tone concealer, just a little bit in the center of their lips. So my client is turning away from the lights, and as you guys can see, with her even getting up close to the camera and turning away from all my studio lights, that was giving skin, and it was, this look is so raw. But I went with some Studio Fix by MAC, and I went with the NC50 and NW45. So when you're going in with a pressed powder, make sure you have two different shades. The shade which is at least lighter than her original skin tone, which is to pop and lighten up her under eye. And also the other shade will be to smoothen out everything, in which is her original skin tone powder. After all that blending, now it's time to spray, and I'll be going in with the Morphe setting spray. And At this point, you should be drowning your client. You see how long I'm going with the spraying? You should be drowning, getting all that dryness, getting all those powders to sink in and give the skin butter. And now I'll be going in with the Warrior palette by Juvia's Place, and this is just for a highlighter. It's no problem with using a eyeshadow that is a shimmer for a highlighter because it comes out way better than the highlighters that people recommend. So this is a hack I love to use. I also went with the Maybelline mascara, and this look is just off the top raw. I will make sure everything that is required for me to give you guys, I will put in the description box below. This is the finishing look. She looks so gorgeous, and it's giving prom, it's giving photo shoot, it's just giving, and I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching my channel. Thank you guys for supporting. Tell a friend to tell a friend that this is the page where you'll get all the gems. Also follow all my platforms at LashaysGlamz. If you guys want to see another look, make sure you comment down below. If you guys love this look, comment down below with fire emojis. And Raw Babes for life. Shout out to you guys for being big supporters and being my ride or dies. And that's why I have no problem with helping you guys out on your journey. If you guys have any inspiring looks that you want to try and you see it on my page, make sure you tag me and make sure it's inspired by me. And I love you guys so much, and I wish you guys all the best. Thank you guys for watching this tutorial. Make sure you hit that subscription button and also click that notification bell so you can be the first to see whenever LashaysGlamz post. And I love you guys so much. Mwah.